what do you think about threesomes?
I think I'm too jealous for a threesome. I wouldn't want nobody to touch you. But they can look at you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Driven Channel, and I'm here with Syl, back for Driven Couples.
Yay!
You know, we took a little bit of time off because we went to Hawaii, then we came back.
Boot camp.
Then I got really sick. We all got really sick because one of our daughters got sick, and then the other one got sick. Then we all got sick. Then we had the boot camp, and it's been a lot on our plate, and we're growing all the companies. We're more successful, more wealthy than ever. We're having a great life, a great time, and it felt fucking amazing flying private to Hawaii and flying back, and it was amazing. The boot camp was a total success, and we weren't in a hurry to get back really because we have so many things going on. But our team was like saying, Albert,
miss you
you guys got to get back doing Driven Couples because we get a lot of great content from it, and because we also have a lot of people that are requesting you guys to be back because you guys give people a lot of value. So. Right. We're going to get started here, and today's topic is how do we stay happy together for so long? 15 years?
Yeah.
I saw your post. Yeah, I didn't even know it was 15 years. Is that like the first time we had sex or when we met or when we started official or when we got married? When are you counting that?
Since we met.
Oh, since we met.
Yeah, because we've been married since 2013.
Do you know like how long since we had sex the first time?
So I think babe.
She's like 15 years.
Because
that's not. We weren't together though. We were just dating.
So when did we get married? 10 years ago?
2013, October 30th, 2013. So.
Because some people count from like guys. I think count from the first time they have sex. Women from when they get married, and then the others from the day you met.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm counting since we met because I feel like we've been inseparable since. Because we're very much alike. If you personally know us, you know what I mean. He's so much like I am, and I'm so much like he is.
You just have boobs, and I have a ding dong.
Yeah, exactly. He's a guy, and I'm
a little bit taller too.
A girl.
More muscle.
Babe, stop being silly. Let me focus.
Go for it.
Yeah. So
we've
been basically inseparable since we met. Just because we're very compatible, we love to have fun. We go to the extreme with whatever it is that we're doing, and that's something that I explain to a lot of the people that work in the company because everybody thinks everything is overnight and it's not. It's little tiny steps towards one direction, one goal, one plan. When we met, it was a realtor and a lender. And then we both evolved and grew our businesses to where work has always been, still is our number one priority, right? And that's a huge missing because nothing happens overnight, and obviously he was an amazing lender. I'm a badass realtor, and it took years, but when you focus on helping people, you're always going to have business. And if you do a great job, customer service is extremely important, right? So when you have great customer service, your clients will be your clients forever because they learn to trust you. And that brings me into the main ingredient to our relationship, which is trust. Him and I trust him blindly and he trusts me blindly. We've had funny rumors that start up in the company, because people are weird and they have nothing better to do. But
about me dating, me having like secret affairs with some of the girls in the company.
Right. And to me, it's so funny. Because I'm like, he would never do that to me. He would be really stupid.
Well, at least they picked a cute one.
Right. And I would pick a cute one too. But if she was ugly, nobody would care. That's what bothers me. It's like ridiculous. I'm like, I don't know. That's just how people are. But when you trust, a rumor like that can really mess up a relationship, but I'm so confident in his love towards me.
Why do you think some women are very insecure?
I don't know.
Like for example, another woman, if she hears that about her man, she would probably get all insecure about it,
right.
And it'll affect her mental state,
right?
And she'll start acting weird,
right? And
it'll just break her down. Why are some women so soft and so weak versus other women that are strong?
Well, I think maybe I know guys do a lot of bad things, you know, and cheating and all that stuff. But
You think when women have been cheated on, it makes them weak, and then every time there's some rumor or something, they start thinking that they're getting cheated on, and do you think it's because something happened to them, or not?
I think our life experiences make us who we are, where we are, how we act, you know. And for me personally, I mean, like I tell you, you can look at other girls. I really don't care. Sometimes we're like looking at girls together and I'm like, oh my God, she's so hot. I wonder if her butt's real. And then we're like looking, like in Puerto Rico, we have a 10-second rule.
What do you think about threesomes?
I think I'm too jealous for a threesome. I wouldn't want nobody to touch you. But they can look at you.
That's like a hybrid threesome.
So anyway, point being that.
So those are fine?
Babe, no.
Well, in order to be like a hybrid threesome, the girl would have to be
I
naked.
told him maybe
and
later on in the future when he's tired of having sex with me.
What if it's somebody like Georgina or Cristiano Ronaldo's girl?
No, menos. She'll steal you from me. Never. She's super hot though. She's beautiful. I told him maybe one day I'll give him a hall pass, but then I have to get a hall pass. That's the only rule.
Ding dongs are not included in this deal.
So for me, I'm just not an insecure person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what we can do together as a couple. And obviously, it's human nature. We all want to look at attractive things, and there's nothing wrong with it as long as you don't cross that line. And I know a lot of girls, like, I think you're freaking hot. Like, especially when you dress nicely. Like, when you have your nice, like yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. So, and I love to see you like that. I love like a well-dressed guy. Like I always I don't like casual guys. Like right now you look okay. Like your shoes are cool, but I like your dressing shirts. Like there's something about a well-dressed man that just makes you so much more attractive. And you have a really nice like chest, upper body, and yeah, I like to look at you.
Yeah, but dressing up is a lot of work.
It is.
Like it's uncomfortable putting a long sleeve on and.
Well, we always look good though. That's another thing. So, to touch back on your question, I think some girls have been
why are the hottest girls insecure? Like those girls that get lipo, BBLs, they get implants, they have like the tits, the ass, skinny waist, and they get all kinds of surgeries, and they're the most insecure ones.
I don't know. You have to
and
learn
then you
how
have
to love
then
yourself.
you have some fatties, chonchons that are very secure.
Babe, it's all based on our experiences.
Because I think insecurity is a turnoff.
It is.
Like you could be hot, but then if you're super insecure, you're gonna turn off a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So how are some fat chonchas like very secure?
Be nice.
And then you have those like overly plasticated women that are very insecure.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. All I know is that I'm confident because I know what I bring to the table. I do my best to always.
Because you're
look
very
good.
confident, even when you had like your teeth that were like sticking out of your mouth.
Throwing up gang signs.
You were very confident. You would be smiling all the time.
I was, and then one day I saw a picture.
I didn't care. Like when I met you, I didn't care about your teeth because I was looking at your body. Because I think I think men, they don't care about like. Have you ever heard about like the putting a bag on the girl?
How sad. That's mean.
Or butterface.
That's
like
messed up.
like
I haven't
butterface
heard
girl.
of butterface.
Like they have like an ugly face, but then they have like a nice badass bomb body. So like me, when like my whole
makeup can fix a lot.
Growing up, you know, I always like was interested in like banging the chicks with the nice bodies. I didn't really look at their face.
Oh, that's so bad.
And unless they had a really nappy face, like if their face was just completely nappy, like ugly, where you couldn't like just it just hurt you to look at them, then I wouldn't do it. Like they needed to be at least a 7 in the face. But as long as they had a 10 body, like I was all in, and I did that for years and years. But if a girl has a beautiful face, she has beautiful nails, she has beautiful eyelashes, she gets beautiful pedicures, beautiful facials, but then she's like ugly body, that I'm not interested. Like I'd rather have, like I tell you all the time, just work out, eat less calories, don't need if you can, and just work out and do some weight so that you
So,
build the muscle,
for
do
the
cardio,
record-
and also like I don't care about your manicures, pedicures.
do, they're not
I
for
don't care
you.
about your eyelashes. I don't care about your facials. I don't care about any of that. I just want you to be like,
Okay. So, for the record, my daughter is 4 months on the 13th. So,
see, because
I look
guys
pretty
like
damn good.
bodies, women like money. So it doesn't matter. Like a guy could be ugly
It
as long as he's
depends.
filthy. No. Girls like money. If a guy is ugly, fat, short, whatever, but he has a lot of money, he'll get any girl.
wow.
Maybe there'll
not
be
me.
one. Maybe there'll be this girl that's really really ethical and she won't do it. But women are attracted to money, security.
No.
They're not attracted to looks. Like it's not like if you see a handsome guy that's broke, or you see a
You were a
ugly
handsome
short
broke
guy,
guy.
that yeah, but I made money. I made money, and then I got, when you
Not
met me,
when
the
I
first
met
thing you
you.
saw was a $19,000 check.
Well, yeah, but
I wasn't broke.
I wasn't.
One thing
looking
is I was broke because I was spending all my money. But we were having the best time. We were going out to all the best clubs. We were spending money. We were buying the best things. We had a nice car. We had a nice house until I lost everything in 2008.
Right.
But I was broke because I made 300,000 and I spend more than 300,000.
Right.
But I was not broke. Broke is somebody that's laying on the couch, that can't close deals, can't get laid. That's a brokey.
Yeah, wow. That's a brokey. But you did lose everything. And I wasn't in it for the money.
But I didn't quit.
I had my own money. I told you. I don't need nobody's money. Even like when I used to go out, I hate when guys think that they want to buy you a drink and they own you. I'm like, don't. I could buy my own drink, thanks. Like, don't touch me. Don't look at me. It's super weird, you know. And there's a lot of girls that go out just so
Makes sense
guys will
already.
pay for their stuff. And I think that that's such a sad way of being, because if you have to use people to get free drinks, it's kind of pathetic. I think it's embarrassing, and I know a lot of girls allow it. That's why men think that they can do that, you know. And for me, I've always made my own money. I have absolutely no problem working hard, you know, and I like to work hard. I like to have my own things. But we were talking about relationships, and Albert and myself, you know, like I would say trust is the reason why we are where we are today. Obviously, I love you with all my heart, and I can't picture my life without you. And then we have 3 little children who are super, super cute and so funny, you know, but we've just been through like so much. And
Well, I think the main thing goes back to what we were talking about, because like if you're not hot and I'm not hot, then we're not gonna stay together. Like let's say if you turn into a meatball, I'm gonna leave you.
you're not
And-
gonna
and-
leave
and-
me,
and-
because
and-
I would never
and if-
allow
and if-
myself.
If I turn into a meatball, you would probably not leave me.
Oh, wow.
So because once again, women are like security and money. Men, like I don't need you for security or for money.
Okay.
I just want you to be a great
So can
mother.
I go
and,
home right now
have
and not
Oh
work?
yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
But I told you what you have to do. You have to find another operator
Right.
to help me with the businesses. But then I don't think you would. You're not that type of girl. You like to work. I think you
do.
like to make your own money. You like to be active.
Right.
So I think that very important. Number one is you got to be attracted to each other, because if you're not attracted to each other, if one of the party lets go of themselves,
Right.
then you're gonna fall in love with the person,
Out of
because
love.
when you meet somebody, you should only get better from that point on. Like every year as you mature, you should get better and better and better.
Right.
Improve your body, improve your face, improve your everything, improve your wealth, your money. So I think that's very important, because a lot of people get married and then they let go of themselves.
Yeah,
That's not the way to do it. You should be better than the time I met you.
Well,
Now,
and then we're blaming our kids, but I'm like, how old is your kid? It's 3. It's not the kid's fault anymore. You can only blame the kids. I would say you have like a 6-month gap where you can actually blame the pregnancy, you know. And I explained to him, when you're nursing a child, like there's a lot of things that he doesn't want to understand. Yesterday, I'm eating lactation cookies, okay? And he's like, Syl, that's why you don't get in shape, because you're eating cookies. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm not just having cookies for breakfast with like tea. So it's things that you have to do, you know. And I know I could work out
if
harder.
I was a woman, which I'm not, but if I was a woman, I would have a 6-pack.
You don't have one right
even
now.
even
Let
even
me
when
see your
I
six-pack.
I have right now I'm obese and I have a 4.5 pack, like a 5-pack.
Right. But also,
That to me that's fat.
right, taking care of
Because
yourself.
to me,
See,
like I want to every time I think a man should always have a six pack.
Right. And for me, I always make sure I take care of myself, because not only do I want to be attractive for him, I want to be attractive for myself. I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be a good example to everybody in this company, because if you don't take care of yourself, how could you take care of anybody else? And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, all that projects out into your business, into your life, into the people you have in it, and why wouldn't you take care of yourself? It's disrespectful to let yourself go. It's not a good thing to not treat your body like it's the only one you have, because it is the only one you
commit
have.
to a 4-pack?
I'm working on it.
By when?
I don't know. I told you I should just call Justin. He'll tell me what to eat.
You've been promising me that since we met.
I don't think I can get one. I can get a 2-pack.
Okay, a 2-pack.
Okay,
by
2-pack.
when? I'll be happy with a 2-pack.
3 months.
Even just a 1-pack, just a little line like that.
Anyway, and
yeah.
we're always...
by when can you commit to that? Because I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Oh my gosh, what day is it?
How much do you need? 2 months?
By September, by Driven.
Okay, by September.
By Driven.
Okay, deal. But still, getting back to the topic, because you're going off topic. The second reason why we've lasted and stayed together and is because I think we identified that I am a driver and you are an operator. So I'm a CEO mindset and you are an operating mindset.
Right.
And then what that means is, for example, like there's no one is better than the other one. It's a CEO is not what people think. People think a CEO is like awesome and it's beautiful and it's amazing and that you're gonna have freedom and that you're the boss. It's the worst position in a company. It's the worst thing to do, to be responsible for, because you have so many responsibilities and everything's your fault, and it's a nightmare.
It's a lot.
Now, I happen to be great at those things: growth, sales, vision, recruiting, driving, motivating, that kind of stuff. But I'm horrible in everything that has to do with operations. Like I'm horrible at systems, processes. I'm horrible at planning, organizing. And then as we grew, we found that Syl was very, very amazing at that. And then I was obviously good in the whole vision, sales, growth part. And then when we started respecting our roles, we separated. Right. And she said, "You're gonna be in charge of your stuff. I'm gonna be in charge of my stuff. And I have the final in this, and you have the final in that." And then now we respect our roles.
Right.
And we started thriving when we identified that. And there's a really good book that all of you should read. It's called Rocket Fuel. And that explains what an operator is and what a visionary is.
Right.
So a CEO and a COO and a CEO, you can call it different things, but you're either an operator, which is an integrator, or you're a visionary, which is a CEO. So once we did that, then I stopped planning, organizing. I stopped messing with operations.
Right.
And I focused on what I'm good at, and everything started thriving. So can you talk about like how you run operations here for 4 businesses, and how you let me just be me?
So obviously operations are really important, and the way that they're carried out is also important. I felt that flash, Anthony.
Are we
that
good?
Little click.
Oh, yeah. The static.
Okay. So, and I let him be, because I know that he's going to handle his roles effectively, and he lets me be because he knows I'll handle my roles effectively as well, right? And for us, again, it's just trusting each other, and we kind of just fell into this, and I love the fact that we've grown so much together. But once we identified our roles, we've been, at the beginning when we were just a realtor and just a lender, but growing, it's been a lot of trial and error. And I wish I knew half of the things I know now, and go back in time and grow a little bit faster. But I mean, it's just, what is the product that we're selling? What is the outcome that we want? And then what positions do we have to have in place to make it happen? Just a simple example, Driven event. He just came home and said, "I want to do this." And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, "I want to have an event like this one that I just came back from." And I said, "Well, show me. What does it look like? What is it?" And he threw up the video. I think they sold you like a actual DVD of the actual event, right? Is that how you showed it to me? Or was it a link? I don't remember. Thing is that we're sitting in our apartment. We lived at the Shoreham Towers at the time. don't know if we had a Talia. Did we have a Talia already?
Yeah.
We already had a Talia, and I'm sitting on the
She was a baby.
couch. Yeah, and I'm watching this event. I was like, okay, you know, because it's a little bit different than like a mortgage seminar, for example, that I used to go with him to. You know, I used to go to one with him all the time.
You remember I showed you a video?
Yeah, so you threw it up, and I think you went to go shower.
So it was online.
Like a link.
It was like online. Yeah, you click on it and you stream.
Right, and I remember sitting in the living room on the white couch watching it, and I was like, okay, and I was taking mental notes, because for me, if you show me something, I can recreate it. I just need to know what it is, what it looks like, and that's basically it, you know. And obviously things evolved with time, but our latest company is an escrow company, and you know, I sit with Michelle and we kind of go over operations. If we miss something, how do we avoid it? If something fell through the cracks, why did it fall through the cracks? How do we avoid it so there isn't a next time? Because mistakes, you know, I believe if you make them once, put a policy in place, a procedure in place to, you know, make sure they don't happen again, they shouldn't happen twice. Because if it's happening 2 or 3 times, it's just a lack of the actual commitment and execution to fix the problem, you know. Because
and so, you know, like, I should have known from the moment that we did that first driven event how good you were in operations, because I told you we're doing it and you put it together.
Right.
And then I created a bunch of chaos because I was getting involved a little bit. But then I got the speakers. I committed to pay everything, and then I just let you handle it. You handled everything,
Right.
And we made it happen, even though we barely made it happen. And up till the second to last speaker, which was Elena Cardone, she's on stage, and they're asking us for 26 grand that I don't have, and they're
Right.
asking us, you got to pay this 26 grand, the AV and the video and the audio video people, and they're like, if you don't pay this, I'm gonna pull the cord,
plug.
and that's Elena Cardone on stage. So you went to talk to them, you closed them, you sold them, and they gave us a week to pay that. And then Grant Cardone went up after Elena. Then he introduced me, and then I went up, and then that happened. And the beauty of this story is that if we wouldn't have started Driven 7 years ago, we would be out of business, one, or number two, we would just be a small mom and pop shop struggling right now to make very little money.
Right.
We wouldn't have this amount of wealth that we have today. Like, we wouldn't have what we have today. So why is that? Because right now in today's world, if you are not a celebrity in your space, if you are not known, if you don't get massive attention, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. If nobody cares about you, nobody knows you. You got to get known. And right now, the old school people, they're struggling, and they're older, and they don't have the energy anymore. And they're going to visit for example, mortgage people are visiting real estate offices, knocking doors and meeting and going and looking for realtors. And then the real estate offices are empty because 60,000 realtors quit so far year to date. 60,000. That's every 3 minutes a realtor quits this year. Every 3 minutes. So there aren't any realtors over there. And because we started Driven, we started getting famous, and we started getting a lot of attention. Our reach got higher, and we started hiring more loan officers. And then the other innovative campaign, which is not that innovative, but it was an innovative campaign for us, our blue ocean, was when we started Ambiance Realty 8 years ago. Because now, while other mortgage broker competitors are dying to find realtors that are alive, which there isn't a lot, we have Ambiance Realty here, where our TMG people have access to over 150 licensed agents. If you look us up on the DRE, you'll see that 150 plus agents. Might be 160 or 70 by the time you look at it. We are adding agents every week, and we have a real estate company that is producing. 80% or 90% of our realtors are all young and driven. They're energetic. We have trainings Mondays, Wednesdays. Mondays are for role play. Wednesdays are for knowledge. Every week, consistency. And with the combination of all our leaders that we've been teaching our people, training, they've been growing and getting better. So here at TMG, our mortgage company, we have access to all the real estate agents that are thriving right now. And with Driven, we get the megaphone, which people listen to us. We don't have to rely on just meeting people one-on-one. We still have to do that. But when we go online on social media, we reach millions of people, if not billions of people, and the world knows who we are, and we are able to get a lot of easy business when people are having a hard time. So just because last year, 6 million homes were sold. Look it up. Last year, 5.9 to be exact, 5.9 million homes were sold last year. This year, only 4.1 million homes will be sold. Right. That's over 30% drop. All right. So what does that tell you? Oh, there's less. There's not enough inventory out there. Right. There's less, but there's also less competition. Realtors, there's no competition. Every 3 minutes, a little realtor is quitting because they don't have the mentor or the leadership. So if you're a realtor right now that's about to quit, you're on your last shot and you're about to quit, just like I was one time, hey, reach out to me. If you're a loan officer and you're about to quit, reach out to me, reach out to us. We are the only company that's killing it right now, the only company that's doing good. We have no competition. No company is even at 1% of our level. So if you guys want to join the Winners Club, hit me up. And maybe you were part of this company and you were brainwashed by idiots and you left, I welcome you back. I don't welcome people back that are unethical, but unethical people, we don't welcome back. That's what I say if you pay attention to my message. But if you left because you were brainwashed by an idiot, reach out to me and tell me, Albert, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm sorry. I listened to this idiot and I left, but I want to come back. It's dead where I am. Everybody's giving up because look, I know you wanted to be loyal. Cool. But hey, when what are you going to put over loyalty or your family? You got to take care of your family. You're not going to be loyal to somebody that's sinking when you have your family to take care of. You got to be a little bit selfish because your family relies on you. So I'll give it up to Syl right now.
Very interesting because people are like, oh my God, 60,000 agents are out of the industry as of
and so I remember something really quick. So loyalty, like everybody has a house, right? You have a roof. If your roof ain't working anymore, if it's beat up, are you gonna say, well, this roof was so loyal to me? You're gonna be loyal to your roof, or you're gonna replace your roof? When you have a leader, a mentor that's no longer good, then you gotta move on and find somebody that's gonna help you take care of your family.
Teach you what to do.
It's not, forget about loyalty. Sometimes people expire. Sometimes people are not good anymore. And when people are no good anymore, when they're not giving you value, then you gotta move on.
Right. Because it does, take a lot to lead people. And 60,000 agents have gotten out of the industry since January 1st, which is crazy because it's going to be the end of June. So we're halfway through the year. And it's important to have great leaders in place that are leading by example because business doesn't come knocking on your door at home. You have to be active. You got to be on the field. You have to be, training all the time. The industry's just changing, and if you adapt to change, you're always going to do good. Like him and I, we always adapt. We're very good at adapting and pivoting because when you adapt and pivot, you can thrive in any market, and it's just how hard are you willing to work? What are you willing to do to thrive? Because just because there's less homes to be sold, well, there's also less realtors, so the business is all the same. It's just that maybe now you have to work twice as hard to get the same result, if even the same result. It might be even a little bit less, but if you never quit, you're never going to fail, and it's hard to beat people that never quit. And that's what him and I never do. We never quit. We don't allow ourselves that privilege because you either have to live with the regret of knowing you didn't do something or with the pain that it takes to get disciplined to go and make things happen for yourself, and a lot of times it's just implementing certain things that are going to grow your business, and we have to have the discipline to carry through with it because a lot of people, they're like, well, I'm an independent contractor. Yeah, great. But remember, you're leaving your 9 to 5 to work for yourself 24/7, basically, and like he always brings up a good point because obviously we all have families to support, but what happens when you're not working on a Saturday or a Sunday? Like, why wouldn't, I was talking to one of our leaders in the company today. I'm like, why wouldn't you pick up a call on a Saturday? Like, I don't understand the thought behind that because if you want to play with your kids, guess what? You can step away for 10, 15, 20 minutes and take a call that's going to make your family an extra 8 to 10 grand rather than not having money to afford their sports or the nannies, the housekeepers, all that good stuff. So, I remember one time you told me, because I was like, man, Albert, like just get off your phone for like 10 minutes and like be with us. And he's like, Syl, like And he showed me, and he collected like I don't know how many thousands of dollars. I was like, okay.
Well, this morning I collected $6,000.
Yeah,
in
I
1
know.
hour.
It's crazy. It's crazy, you know, and we still get to be with our family. We incorporate our kids into everything that we do, you know. We have a headquarters where we have everything. I tell people, if you can't succeed here, I mean, you're out of luck. You're not going to succeed anywhere because we give everybody every
It's almost like
tool.
if a kid can't be happy in Disneyland,
Right.
they're not gonna be happy anytime anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Like this is like the
Disneyland.
Disneyland of home loans and real estate.
Right.
Like if you ever thought like, does Disneyland exist for mortgage or real estate? This is the Disneyland for mortgage and real estate. There is no place like here. You got to come check it out.
Yeah, we have a great operation. We have amazing people that work here.
Well, Syl, talk about like what Neil Patel told you. He said you guys are not generating that revenue or thriving because of marketing or sales or any of that. The main reason, what did he say?
Oh, that we work hard?
No, he didn't say that either.
What did he say?
He said
we're hard workers.
that it's because our systems and processes. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He told us that at lunch. Neil Patel, talk about that. Like, how important is it? Because if you think about it, right now, when we're gone, we're making money every minute because we have a lot of different flows of income. But for example, if we leave, our systems and processes, they run the mortgage company without us.
Right.
Now, do I have to be here to motivate people at least once a week? Yes. Do you have to be here at least once a week to check on the systems and processes and update them as we grow?
Right.
Yes. But if we leave for weeks, I think even months, it runs. Like deals close, people get paid, we collect the checks, we log in the checks, we pay out, we send the wires.
Right.
Like it doesn't require us. Same with Ambiance Realty, same with all our business. Conquer Escrow. Like the systems and processes are all functional.
Right.
So in the beginning when we started business, we didn't have all of that. Like me, like I just do things that are gonna make me money.
Right.
I don't do any activities that are not worth my hourly wage. Because you know what my hourly wage is? My hourly pay. You know what it is?
A lot?
Guess.
I have no idea.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Take a guess, Anthony.
An hour? How much?
How much am I worth an hour?
7 G's?
I was gonna say 7 G's.
$28,000. So I'm worth $28,000 an hour. So I'm not gonna be doing activities that are not gonna get me there. Right. All you gotta do is divide 60 million by 2080.
So as you start to grow, obviously, you know, I think I get on a lot of people's nerves, you know, some of our employees, but the reason is that things could always be better. They can always improve. I'm never satisfied with the result, and I know it's bad, but that's just how I'm wired. For me, it could have always been a little bit better. Something could have changed where the outcome would have been a little bit better, you know, and obviously you learn all the time. I'm always learning. I'm like a little sponge. I love learning. I love improving. I love growing. I love changing things so that they work better, you know, and people don't like change. And for me, I'm like, change is good all the time, and all the time change is good. It's a fact. It's a reality. And a lot of people have a hard time with change, you know, and that's why some people stay the same. They're with the same people, you know, being miserable, you know, and it's so sad because I'm like, you're not a tree. Move. Jim Rohn says that all the time. And for us, I love to see people grow. You know, I'm like, hey, whatever you want, just make sure you're always upfront with people, honest, because I've realized over the years that people lack courage. They're afraid of telling the truth, which is so fucking weird to me. To me, I'm like, just say it. If we don't agree, great. You know, and like him and I, like if he tells me things and I don't agree, I tell him and I don't care. That's your opinion. This is mine. And then how do we come to an agreement? Him and I are okay agreeing to disagree. And I feel like a lot of couples don't do that. And I tell him, like, if I don't like something and he tells me if he doesn't like something, and we've always been able to compromise and then keep growing, you know, but I let him be himself. He lets me be myself. Like, I don't have to be different when he's around. He doesn't have to be different when I'm around, you know, and I see also couples that are like that. And I'm like, that must be difficult. Not only do you have to focus on being good parents, good leaders, you know, lead people by example. Now you have to act different when your wife or husband is around. Pues que flojera. I would never. I know you don't. I don't either.
I act worse when you're around. Hey, somebody, what kind of shoes are those?
They're Versace.
Somebody said if you could show them to the screen.
Oh, sure.
They're
Mike
nice.
gave them to me, my bestie, for my birthday. They're so cute.
So Syl,
I love shoes.
let me tell you something about Syl. So if right now it's unheard of for any mortgage company or any real estate company to be doing good.
Right.
I'm a big tracker, so I like looking at data. I'm like a nerd for data, and so I asked my team, hey, get me how many cancellations we've been getting, how many new files we've been getting. I want to track a few things, and I was looking at the data of revenue and commissions paid out. So the first, and this is unheard of, guys. This is really exciting. I'm gonna tell you something. Realtors and loan officers, pay attention. The first 12 months of this year versus the last 12 months. So right now we are about 25 weeks into the. So I'm talking about weeks, not months. So the first 12 weeks of the year versus the last 12 weeks of the year. I mean, I'm mixing you up. So guys, forget about that. The first 12 weeks of this a year versus the last 12 weeks. Okay, we are about 25 weeks into the year. Okay, so we are past halfway of the year. Now, the first 12 weeks, we made X amount, right? The last 12 weeks, we doubled our revenue and the commissions paid out. So I'm going to be exact with you. Mortgage guys doubled from the last 12 weeks versus the first 12 weeks of the year. So we are blowing up. Like we doubled in the last 12 weeks. That is unheard of. And we are going like that when other mortgage companies are going like this. And then Ambiance is up 60%. 60%. We're looking at the numbers yesterday. Mortgage guys doubled, and Ambiance is 60% up from comparing the last 12 weeks versus the first 12 weeks of the year. So this is great, amazing news. This is telling us that we are blowing up. And why? Because there's no competition out there. Because right now, in order to win in this market, in this economy, you can't just be knowledgeable. There's a lot of knowledgeable brokies.
Right.
You can't just be a hard worker, because there's a lot of hardworking brokies. You can't just have sales skills. There's a lot of people that are good in sales and they're brokies. So right now, you got to have 5 things. So think about a pie, okay? I'm going to give you 4 things. So if you're good in sales and that's it, you're only 25% there. You got to be good in sales. You got to be good in, you have to have a strong mindset.
Right.
Strong mindset. You have to have sales skills, and you have to have knowledge. So those are the 4 things. Now, if you don't have a great attitude, you're not going to do anything. You got to always wake up and put yourself in a great attitude, even if you don't feel good. You have to have the right attitude. When you show up to work, when you wake up, if you don't have a great attitude, you're not going to do good. So right now, just being good in one is not going to cut it. Right. In 2021, any fool can do loans. My daughter that's 6 could have been a top producer loan officer because nobody needed to think. You didn't need a brain in 2021. Anybody can make it.
You were just taking orders.
You were just collecting paperwork, and that's it. I knew a lot of dumbasses that were closing 15 loans a month. And those people are not closing, they're closing 1 right now, 1 or 2. That's it. I look up the data, and I've been watching you guys. If you're watching me right now, I've been looking at your numbers. I know how you're doing. I know your numbers. I can see it in your eyes. I can see your body language. I can see the way you speak. I can see the way you carry yourself. It's not, the confidence is gone. So that's what happens when you think that your ego takes over and you think you are better than you really were. You weren't better. You were just riding 2021. You were getting loans. You were getting SBA loans. You were getting free checks. You were getting waivers. You didn't have to pay your rent. You didn't have to pay your mortgage. You were getting away with murder. It was very easy. 2021 rates were 2%, 3%. Anybody can do good. So now the true players are the only ones that are stepping up. The pretenders are gone. They lost their Lambos, they lost their Bentleys, they lost their Rolls Royces, they lost their Ferraris, they lost everything. They're about done. And some of them they're barely crawling. You know the roach that's crawling and can barely walk because it got run over, but it's kind of still kind of moving forward at slow speeds. That's where they are. And it's nasty. I've been there before, but I never let my ego take over. I always knew that there was always people better than me that I can learn. You have to be humble to learn always. You can't let your ego take you away. So right now, if you want to do good, you could kill it. It's great. It's a great opportunity right now because we have a lot of loan officers and realtors that have 15 escrows, 14 escrows, 16 escrows, and we have a lot of them. But why? Because they are the true players. They have a knowledge. They have the right mindset, they have the work ethic, they have the people skills, and they have the right attitude. And when I told you, Syl, about the 12 weeks, how the last 12 weeks are crushing the first 12 weeks of the year. So we're on the way up.
Right.
The first thing she tells me is, we got to sit down. And I'm like, for what? And she's like, we got to rewrite the systems and processes. We got to create the perfect flow and process for the loan officers. And we got to have a training about
Customer service.
how you have the perfect loan process. Why?
Right.
Because, we talk to our top people and we're not perfect. There's a lot of things we could improve. And that is dangerous. When you are the best and there's a lot to improve, that means that you have unlimited capacity.
Right.
And there's a lot to improve. That's good news. But when you have Syl, an operator even though we're crushing it last 12 weeks versus the first 12 weeks of the year, she wants to update the systems and processes to make the experience better and to continue to improve.
That's how we got here. If you really want to get super technical, my first, second, third client ever, they still love me. They still remember Albert. They're like, yo nada más con el señor Alberto. Contigo o con Alberto? I'm like, no, pero yo trabajo con Ana or whatever. And I overlook a lot of transactions actually. But like I was telling Albert, I'm like, doing a loan is so freaking simple. To me, it's common sense. I can do loans. I can do real estate with my eyes closed in my sleep. Now, how do we transfer that to our people, because some of them came from direct lending. In the broker world, you do a lot more work, but there's a lot more money, right, to be made. So I was telling Albert, why don't we actually say, okay, when you're here, you communicate to these people. When you're here, you communicate here. Because in a transaction, we want to make sure the client is very well aware of all their options. They understand, what's to be expected. And then we're servicing the client. But if you're a loan originator, you're also providing a service to the listing agent of the transaction. What does this mean? It means that you can earn business from that person because your process is so good and you're so good at what you do and the communication is so clear and perfect that why wouldn't you want to work with someone like that? At the end of the day, when you have a business relationship with someone, we want to make sure that it's a two-way street, that everybody's doing their part like a well-oiled machine, and then everything goes to perfection. But when a ball's being dropped here, there's a ball being dropped there, there's balls being dropped all over the place, there's not a great experience for anybody that's part of the transaction, and you can build a beautiful business if you focus on all of the processes that happen, every single step of the way of the loan, of what is actually supposed to take place to be able to provide service for a lifetime, to be able to service your clients properly, and that they never want to go with anybody but you. Because I tell our LOs, there's no point on working on a transaction for 30 days where you half-assed your job. You can't half-ass. It's not 2021 anymore. So you have to be good at what you do, because when you're good at what you do, you're going to earn more business from all over the place. So that was my thought to him, because I'm like, how could we improve? We take all our leaders, we teach them, and then it trickles down. Because when you didn't have an assistant, well, I've always been his assistant, but when you're just a solo person, you have to handle all this. And then when you have an assistant, you separate the responsibilities, but you learn how to trust but verify whoever's helping you, and like, for example, I think one of the biggest things is finding good people, because man, I can't tell you guys enough. If I can go back in time, there's so many people I would have just fired, just like, sorry, it's not going to work, because we always want to make it work with people, and a lot of the times they're not right for the job. They're not meant for the job. They don't want to grow. And some people will only take you up to here, and that's okay. That's their ceiling. But when you find people that are better, that understand you, that you work better together, like I am with Maria now. I'm like, I love her. Like,
Maria's awesome, huh?
She's amazing. Like, she always knows what I'm thinking. She gets me. Even when I typo something, she knows exactly what I'm saying, because we're very much alike. And I think the combination of people, whether it's business relationships, the staff that you're hiring, David is a perfect example. I love David. Like, he makes my life so much easier, and I'm less stressed. It's just, it works better for everybody, because then I can focus on fixing other
remember
things.
Eric Spofford, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So I make all these people my friends. So Eric Spofford, he talks about the bus. When you start a business, sometimes a person takes you so far, and they're with you for 5 years. Sometimes they might be like, well, I've been with you for 10 years. And I'm like, okay, well, you were good for 10 years. You're not good anymore. Pa fuera. You get them out. and they're just not good anymore. Some people are going to be good for only 5 years. Some people are going to be good for 10 years, and they're just not good anymore. And you got to move on.
Yeah.
And so that's a very important part of business that, I mentor a lot of people and in business. And that's the biggest thing. Like, hey, some people are going to be with you for 5 years. Some people are going to be with you for 10 years. Some people are going to be with you for 1 year. Some people for a few months. But you got to keep recruiting. You got to keep bringing in new people. And you got to keep eliminating people. When people are not good, when people are toxic, when people don't fit your culture, your core values, you got to cut him and kick him out and wish him the best and get rid of him quick. Because one bad person is gonna kill 10 people, 10 good people. So you cannot afford to have people. And sometimes you're going to grow. And some people that were sitting behind you on the bus are going to have to move to the middle or to the back of the bus. And some people are going to have to get kicked out of the bus. Eric Spofford says it best.
Yeah, he does. And I think that's, as an employer, you always want to make it work with certain people. At least him and I'm like, no, they didn't mean it, or this or that. And then, like, once they're gone, I'm like, what the hell were we thinking? Like, it's like day and night. It's
the
like
energy,
everything.
the energy in the office environment is so clean.
There's people that just have really heavy energy, and you don't even realize how much damage they were causing until they're gone, And I think now we're better at identifying that. And for me, I'm like, if you're willing to change, if you're willing to outperform, like, let's go. There's always room to grow with us, but a lot of people want the reward without doing the actual work, and it doesn't work like that, And Albert says ego, like Bobby Castro, ego's not your amigo. It's not. Like, if people would just remain coachable, him and I are still coachable. I'm like, I know I can improve a lot. I know he can improve, and we're always looking to improve. And I think that's why we're always growing. As a couple in business, we had somebody over at our house, and he was telling us, like, man, like, it's crazy. Like, you guys are always together. You basically do everything together. Because I know a lot of, like, couples, one goes to work, the other one, and then you see each other in the evening.
Who are you talking about?
Alexis.
Oh.
We're always together. And he's like, it's like admirable. And to me, like, I never really thought about it. Sometimes, I'm just in my day-to-day, and I'm moving as quickly as possible, getting as many things done in a day because I don't want to leave them for tomorrow. But every day is, like, jam-packed. And it was just interesting, like, to see his point of view, because he's been with us for a very long time already. And it just kind of felt nice to know that, people look up to us, and we want to be good leaders, good examples to people, but it's going to take everything you have. It's not always easy. There are times that I just want to, like, choke them out, but I don't do that because we always keep the respect for one another. It's important in a relationship, and I'm not always going to agree with him, but we always find that middle point, the middle ground where we agree to disagree, and I just let him be, but.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. So systems and operations, do you love, like, creating systems and processes, or are you just great at it?
I think I learned that being the oldest of 5. I always had to figure out how to make certain things work. Like when
you're good at giving people hats and switching the hats
and direction.
Because like sometimes you're like, oh, Maria, now you're gonna be here and you gotta go there, and you direct people and you change people's roles for them to perform better.
Right. So I think that just comes with, everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and if you can identify those early on, like when you stole Maria from me, I was so sad because I was like, man, her, and I'm like, Maria, you're not going to get rid of me so easily because I love working with you. I like people that are honest, that have good intentions, and sometimes you meet someone that you've known for a month, they have better intentions than someone that's been in your life for 5 years. And time doesn't really mean much, and I feel like that's called entitlement. And for me, I'm just good at, like, putting people in places, because again, when I got my first car, I had to figure out how was I going to go from Redondo to take my brothers and my sisters to school. Then I would go do my rounds, figure out my open house. Like, I just organize everything so that everything works out perfectly. And I like to move fast because I feel like when you move fast, you could just get so much more done in a day, and like people that talk slow, walk slow, I'm like, keep up, like, let's go, like, move. I like to just do things, get things done, and move on and do as much as possible in a day, because I do believe that the more efficient you are, the better, and you can create a lot of great results just with simple organization skills, and for me, I love making everything perfect, clean, easy to find. And I don't know, that's just the way that I am. I think it just happened by accident.
So for the next 12 weeks, to have a better next 12 weeks than the previous 12 weeks that we just had, can you give me one or two things that you know right now that they're clear that they have to happen in order to have a better, because the goal is to double in the next 12 weeks from the past 12 weeks.
Right.
So this is already week 1.
Right.
So for the next 12 weeks or 11 weeks, what are like maybe one thing, because you don't want to give people too much info, because then you're gonna give some ideas to some of our shit competitors that are wannabes. They're not really competitors, they're just shit. But what's like one thing that that you're gonna implement that this is gonna ensure that we're gonna double again the next 12 weeks?
I was actually having nightmares about it last night. So I was meeting with Tony right before coming here. I was eating really quickly.
It's funny the nightmares we have, because I had a terrible nightmare, and my nightmare was that they destroyed my showers in our nearly 20,000 square foot fully remodeled headquarters, because I was like arguing, and I was like, wait, I pay a lot for this. You're remodeling my showers right now.
Right.
Now I'm not gonna be able to shower. I'm gonna have to waste time and drive home after my workout and shower and come back. So I was thinking about, that's like an hour lost or more. Like, no, like that was my nightmare. Like, so my nightmare is like they destroyed my showers in my beautiful nearly 20,000 square foot headquarters on Sunset Plaza. but like the nightmares that we have are weird. Like your nightmares are like your systems.
I'm just thinking about like all the operational aspect of everything, and there's a couple things me and Tony are gonna
What's
implement.
one thing? 'Cause I don't want you to give ideas to some of these roaches.
Babe. So then I can't tell.
Just one, not two, just one.
So with our active files,
to double, because the goal is the target is to double the past 12 weeks. So we doubled the last 12 weeks from the first 12 weeks. Now we got to double again for the next 12 weeks.
So we're gonna definitely work on, because we have a lot of realtors in the company, to help them produce. They need a good loan officer, right? And they have to become a team together, and they have to learn how to work together. But for that, you have to find your right match. So I just think that our LOs, with proper direction, proper communication, we can help build more transactions, make them happen, basically. Just because based on what I'm seeing with some of the people, like, you just have to be responsive. Like, if you text me, that I'm going to get right back to you, even if I'm busy, and I feel like a lot of people are not very responsive, which is a huge problem, because you're blocking all of your transactions that are coming in. And we're all busy. Like right now I'm busy. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to see everybody that texts me back. I'm going to go one by one, figure out what's priority for the day and what can wait till tomorrow, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody always gets a reply from me every single real time. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that, which is bad. But Tony and I are going to work on something. Our production manager with the loans, that I think is going to be a game changer. But I can't disclose it. We were working on that.
So guys, to close out right here, closing thoughts. I just want to share something with you, because somebody asked me today. I get a DM and they asked me, like, Albert, how do you work 18 hours? So are your workouts 5 minutes? How much do you sleep? And I'm like, I can't believe people are so stupid. Like, what do you mean how I work 18 hours? I work from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep. I don't work. I work out. I do an hours of weights. I do 35 minutes of cardio. Sometimes I'll do a third workout and add a bit more cardio in the night when I get home. But I'm on my phone working when I'm working out.
Right.
Like, I'm not listening to Britney Spears or a bunch of fucking music. When I'm working out, I'm working. I'm sending DMs. I'm sending messages. I'm reading messages. I'm answering emails. I'm sending messages. I'm attacking when I'm working out.
Right.
When you lift the weight, you get like a minute of recovery time. That minute, I'm bam, 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 hammering the phone. And when I'm doing cardio, I'm on my phone the whole time. When I'm showering, I'm listening to self-improvement.
Yeah,
when I'm driving, I'm listening to self-improvement. Every now and then, I'll put a song just to pump me up a little bit, like the power song. But I'm working 18 hours and I sleep 6 hours. That's all I need. You got to be productive. Like, when I'm with my kids, I'm on my phone too. Like, I'm being honest. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to put my phone down for 5 minutes, because I want to make money. Like, I like making money. There is nothing that I like more than money. I like money, money and sex and babies and like money is good. With money, you could fly private. With money, you could have a headquarters like this. With money, you can have your own gym,
And
your
he's
own
always
bar.
like this.
I
That's the
love
crazy
money.
part.
I love money. Without money, with money, you can have an SF90 yellow. You know, like, I love money. And if you're single, you want girls, get money. So I love money. Money is important. Money is like oxygen. You can't live without it.
Right.
Now, one more thing to close out. When you want to grow a business, a lot of people have it wrong. You know,
Right.
you don't grow a business. Like, how do you grow a business? You don't grow a business in a recession by cutting expenses. Cutting expenses is not the answer. You never grow a business or you save a business by cutting expenses, by getting cheap, by being a softie, by being a brokey. That's not how you grow a business. That's not how you survive. The way to grow a business is by income, by creating more revenue, by making more sales. If you sell more, you will have more money and your business will grow. Right. So stop, instead of cutting expenses, don't do that. I'm always looking what more. I want to add more expenses. What expenses can we add? I want to add more, because the answer is income. Make more income, make more sales, you'll have more revenue, and you'll be able to pay for more employees, more expenses. You need to make more sales. And if you're having a problem right now, if you're going out of business, it's not because you got to cut expenses. It's because you got to make more sales. You got to generate more revenue. And if you're not prospecting all day and you don't have any deals, then you're a dumbass.
And to piggyback on what he just said, I talked to my agents about this and RLOs, of course, and you always have to remain hungry. I feel like so many people, it's like, this is why you're average if this is you, and you have to change it. So you should always be working. What else is there to do other than work, especially if you're self-employed? You're always looking for your next client. And for him and I, we're always hungry for more. We're always hungry for the next deal. It doesn't matter how much money we have piled up. Literally, I've been wanting to go shopping for how long? Two months now? It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. I have to order stuff online, and I like to go shopping. I actually like to go and walk around and look at things and all that good stuff, and I don't have the time. I'm going to make the time, though, because there's a couple things that I really need. But point being that when you remain hungry, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter if you close 5 deals and then you let off the gas and then you have to start all over again. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday vacation, like a 4-day vacation. But you got to get right back on, you know. And a lot of people, they lose that momentum. They make a little bit of money and then they tailor back. And him and I, that's one of our secrets. We're always working. We're always hustling no matter what. Before we had kids, all we did was work. Literally, if we didn't have kids, we would probably sleep in this office. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't work hard enough. Like Elon Musk, he doesn't even shower. He sleeps in his floor in his office.
I think he used to. I think he realized that
No,
he
he
needs
still
at
does.
least 6 hours of sleep.
Like, he always has greasy hair. And
So I don't know about all that, but we have kids to get
he's
home
the
to.
wealthiest man on the planet.
I know, it's crazy. But his work ethic.
Yeah, well, because he has big dreams.
Right.
His dream is to go to Mars. Like, when your dream is to make $1 million, like, you're fucking thinking too small.
Right. So how do you make 2 million? How do you make 3?
How do you go to
how
Mars?
do you double down?
How do you go to Mars? How do you go to Pluto?
Right. It's just all a mindset, guys.
How do you make people immortal, where you reverse aging? Like, you gotta have bigger. You gotta have bigger goals. So, like, when your goal is to make $1 million, that's why you're a brokey.
Well, $1 million is not even enough. Yeah.
$1 million is like the new 100,000.
Right. And something
you gotta make yourself at least 10 million.
Yeah, and well, there's so many things, but I think we're out of time. So, him and I have just grown together. We're always together. We do he's like my bestie. Mike's gonna get jealous.
Yeah,
he's my best friend.
But Mike is gay. He's your gay bestie.
Yeah, okay.
I'm your man bestie.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Yeah, so we just like trust each other, love each other, work with each other. We have 3 beautiful little delicious kids. Like, you guys have no idea. If you
we almost had a 4th one.
I know. He's trying to get me pregnant again, and you
got to get in shape first.
Well, then leave me alone.
No, well, you got to get it together. You got to stop eating.
I don't even eat. I like drinking. I love.
Well, if you
parties.
drink, you can't eat at all.
Babe.
It's a calorie. It's all
Okay,
calorie.
anyway, we're
how many
ignoring
calories
him.
in? How many calories out?
I know that.
That's it.
I have an app that keeps track of it for
You
me.
you don't need an app for that.
You do need an app for that. So anyway, guys, what you track doesn't grow. If you don't trust each other, you're never going to grow because you can't focus on the bigger things in life. If you have to be worried about your spouse or your better half or whatever, you're never going to get to high levels in life because without trust, you have nothing. If you can't trust each other, how can you do anything else together? When you trust each other fully, you can focus on other things in life, like how do you grow your business? How do you grow companies together? What other things do we have to change? And then when we go home, we're with our little kids, and I think we have a great life. I love our life.
And with that said, guys, we'll see you next week. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Next week's going to be in Spanish.
Yeah.
See you guys.